Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another video by Fitness Technology Services. So today's video is going to be on changing this rear roller on this Nordictrack machine. Kind of the same as all the others, but I just want to go over with them so my Nordictrack customers will know how to do it also. Alright? So typically on the Nordictrack rear roller, you're going to have an adjustment bolt, and then you're going to have a screw back here to remove it. 90% of the time, if you remove just the screw right here, if you can get to it, there we go, you can pull this cap off. But this model, like some of the models, actually has an extra screw that holds the end cap in from the bottom. Most of the time you can just do this, but that's not this way. So hang on one second. You will see this screw actually holds this piece in also. Alright, so we're just going to put those pieces over there. Alright, so the next thing I like to do, and you can see this is kind of an older, it's been rusty a little bit. What do we got? Let's see. Come on. Everything's kind of a little rusty, but that's just what it is. Alright, so when I change a rear roller, I like to mark where the roller is now. A lot of times people tell you to count, which is okay, but if you can physically see it, mark where it is so you got an idea of how tense it should be and what's centered, because if you walk out it's nice and centered, you don't really want to mess that up. So you want to know where this is. So we're just going to put a little mark. Right there. Sorry it's blue. The other one I did was white, but so we're going to put a little mark right here. And also whenever I do the front roller, I do the same thing too, but that's going to be on a different video coming up shortly. The other thing to do with Nordictrack is it's really good to have their original Allen wrench. I'm not sure exactly what size it is, to be honest. I've tried 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5. So I guess you'll have to fumble with it until you find one, but it's nice to have the original one. Normally I would do this with a power wrench, but I don't have a attachment for my drill. Alright, so when your bolts are older like this, it's good to put, not much, just a little dab of grease so it'll come out easier, but also so it'll go in easier. Because you don't want anything bad to happen. You're trying to fix your machine. Should have brought a towel, but I didn't. Alright. So, since we have our mark, I'm not going to bother counting. You see, that makes it so much smoother. So I'm just going to go about halfway on each end. Seems like forever when you're used to using the impact, that's for sure. Alright, so I may age a little bit while we do this, but if you're dealing with the factory's tools, I guess that's going to be what it's going to be. There. My hand's a little faster. Still a little grease over there, right there. Alright, so I'll let that drop down because I don't want to lose it. I'm going to hold it in my hand. Then I'm going to take out this side. Boy, that's just a killer. May as well have some purpose for that, right? It's on. Whee! Lord have mercy. Alright, so that's it. There's actually nothing wrong with this besides being old like me, so I'm going to stick this back in. But again, I like to go back to my marks. I don't know if there'll be a little twitch that needs to be done here or there, but this will get me really close. Now on these older models like this rear roller just kind of floats here. So we're going to have to get this one screw started, which is always a pain in the butt. See how it's just rotating right there? Can you see that? Take this as far as I can by hand. Take this one as far as I can by. Wrench might be quicker, but. See, that's another reason why it's good to apply just a little dab of grease. And to be honest with you, if you don't have grease, petroleum jelly. It doesn't really need to have anything that's got any viscosity to it. It's just got to make it easier to be put back on. Oh, that's also Vaseline. Vaseline is actually a pretty good lubricant. I used to do automatic doors, security systems, and we would go to People's back in the day and take 5 or 6 of them just to make sure, because on doors they move a lot and they've got to be heavily lubricated. Don't necessarily recommend that, but that's what I did. You need lube, you got to use it. Alright, so that's about to my mark. This looks like it's a tweak bit more. Alright, so now I'm going to turn the machine on and we'll see if the belt walks. Now if you notice, I didn't put my end caps back on because they don't have anything to do, so it's definitely going too far over this way. So I want to go to this side and tighten it some. I don't know if you can see that or not. Some more. And a little bit more. Alright, so now I'm going to, it's still too far over here, so now I'm going to go to this side and loosen it some. Take some of the stress. Now as I loosen it, the roller's going in and the belt will start coming over. So we'll just have to wait a couple of minutes. I don't like testing it running faster than that, just because then it moves too quick and it's hard to keep up with. Alright, we're going to go just a little bit more here. Alright, so that's looking pretty straight on there. Just a little tweak here. So I got it running 1 mile an hour. What I'm looking to do is get this belt back as centered as possible. I've greased my bolts just a little bit just to kind of make it easier to turn. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's still a little wide over here. Alright, so I'm just going to back this one down this way just a hair. Another thing, the reason why I like to do it without the end caps, is I can also see the amount of play that I have on each side of the roller. So I'm trying to get that a little more straight also. There's no more strain on it. The belt's not too tight. The rollers aren't crying anymore. See, that's why it's not necessarily, it's okay, but just to go by the amount of turns, because you don't know if it's always had too much pressure on the roller. There's really a lot of things you don't know. Now, next thing I'll have to do is walk on it real quick to make sure it doesn't slip. But in general, that's pretty even right there. Alright, so I'm going to kind of jump on top of it. I still haven't put the end caps on. I probably won't even bother to do that. I'll just say, you know, put them back on. Alright, so let's walk up here. Let's make sure, let's go to 3. That it's not slipping. Alright, it's always good. So if you want to know if your belt is too tight or too loose, it's too loose if it slips a little bit on you when you do that. And then if it does, you could come back here and tighten it just a little bit. That's another video though. Anyway, thanks a lot for viewing. That's how I change my rear roller on my Nordictrack. Of course, I have to put my end caps on, both pieces back on, but I'm going to take this back apart again. Alright, because I want to do the next video on the front roller. So I'm going to take that back out. I thank you so much for viewing. Please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you again next time. I'll see you on the front end of the machine even. Alright, thanks a lot.